Hi everyone, I'm Mike Green, Public Information Officer in the Allen County Commissioner's Office, and welcome to Countyline. Hi everyone, I'm Mike Green, Public Information Officer in the Allen County Commissioner's Office, and welcome to Countyline, the program featuring news and information about Allen County government. And we are standing outside of the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum, 60 plus years of age and growing strong all the time. But it's important that the Coliseum stay on the cutting edge of great guest experience. And so this past summer, work began on a major construction and renovation project to expand the 200 level, that's the second floor here of the Coliseum. Now, we brought our cameras out here right as construction was well underway to kind of give you a sample of the work that was taking place. This was a nearly $4 million project representing the most extensive work to be performed on the arena since the 2002 raising of the roof. Both the long sides of the 200-level concourse were expanded, with food courts being built on top of the existing 100-level, the ground floor entrance vestibules. On each side, about 10,000 square feet of space was added, including new food courts. Also included in the renovation were restrooms, upgrading a total of 6 existing spaces. The restrooms in the middle of the long sides of the concourse are now split into separate male and female facilities. Also, the 4 restrooms on the south end of the concourse have been upgraded. All the renovated restrooms will include LED lighting, as well as touchless sinks, soap, and towel dispensers. Now, the contractors and the architects and the folks who did all the work were kind of under the gun. They had to get everything finished by this fall, right about the time when Fort Wayne Comet hockey was getting ready to start, as well as Fort Wayne Mad Ants basketball, as well as the other entertainment events that would be taking place at the Coliseum the fall and winter. But with a lot of hard work, they got the job done. And on October 11th, folks were invited in to take a look at the finished product and to celebrate with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. And we were out here for that, and here are some of the highlights from that event.
Thank you to our contractors and, of course, our architects, MSKTD and Associates, and everyone working there. And last but certainly not least, our Coliseum staff. As you look around, putting the finishing touches on having this ready, Rich Thoma, who coordinated construction from our end, Brian Christie, and Eric Lonsbury, who worked hard along with the other Coliseum staff and leaders staffing to make sure that we had it clean and ready for you. You know, if you'd seen this just, we could say a month or a week ago, you'd have thought, there's no way, they won't be ready. But as always, the Coliseum staff came through. But lastly, with everything we do here at the Coliseum, we think of our veterans. And the lead group, the Allen County Council of Veterans, but all veterans who have served and given so much, so that we have the Coliseum, our living memorial here. So to all of our veterans, thank you.
On behalf of the trustees, I'd also like to thank our contractors, Jackson and Company and their subs, and also our architects, Jerry Noble and MSKTD, and they've done a great job. They brought it in on budget and on time, and all ready for our Comets opening next week. Well, Comets are tonight, am I right? Tomorrow night, all right. And very important also, we've got a great opening coming at the end of October with the longest running tenant we've had here. Does anybody know what that is? Anybody? The dog show. The dog show started when the Coliseum opened and has been here every year since. Their dog show is our longest running. There. I'd also like to commend the commissioners, Nelson and Teresa Brown, and unfortunately Commissioner Bloom could not be here today, and the council for really good management work and good foresight over a great number of years here with the Coliseum, and I'll talk about that in just a minute, but they really have exercised great foresight. The Coliseum started a great number of years ago with a long-range strategic plan, and it's been updated and implemented a number of times, but because of that, a number of things have been done. It started like in 1989 with the Expo Center. The building of the Expo Center was one of the first things, and then of course in 2001 we raised the roof and expanded the seating to 13,000, and in the last number of years, you may recall, we've got ribbon boards inside the arena, just like they have at Conseco and Lucas Oil and so on. We've upgraded the scoreboard. A lot's been done in the parking lot. And now, of course, this year, what we've got is our great food courts, and not to forget the restrooms, the updating of the restrooms. When you're my age, restrooms are very important. Because of these improvements and also the dedicated staff we have here at the Coliseum, the Coliseum draws in 1 million visitors and more each year. And also because of the staff and the improvements, we're able to get outstanding acts to come here. Elton John, and the Coliseum is consistently ranked into the top arenas in the country each year. And that's really saying something. I mean, that indicates what the improvements and the upgrades have done over the years. This particular food court was a favorite of former member Jerry Diener. Jerry always envisioned that something would be done here, and unfortunately Jerry couldn't be here today, but now we've been successful in doing this, and I'm sure Jerry will be very pleased. But all told, I think that this food court and the other improvements exemplifies the original thoughts behind the Coliseum, that it would be a living, up-to-date, modern place that was useful every day, and that as opposed to a statue or monument somewhere that would draw dust there. And I think that this living, everyday usefulness is a real tribute to our veterans, the veterans of all the wars that the Coliseum honors. The food courts, of course, bring a whole new dimension to the Coliseum and to our food service here. And I think it also indicates that while the Coliseum is a great old lady, it's a great old lady with up to stuff and new things that go on every year.
On behalf of the Board of Commissioners, we are absolutely delighted with this expansion and improvement. Having been around this environment a very long time myself, and having seen Randy hired during my tenure as an employee of the county, there's been a lot of transformation and a lot of movement forward that has been just phenomenal. This building is constantly moving, changing, growing with the times, and offering the types of amenities that everybody wants to see, everyone wants to be a part of. And for that, the Board of Commissioners as a whole are very appreciative of the aggressive nature that our board has and that Randy with his leadership has brought to the table for this community and for us as well. 2 or 3 things that I need to throw out, and that is that, as Mac mentioned, you know, the Coliseum has been in the top 5 for the most part in its range for probably the last 5 to 10 years, plus years. And in that, this type of improvement continues to put us farther and farther ahead in that kind of category. Keeps us vibrant and will keep us moving forward and gaining more and more opportunities of acts events, etc. And on that vein, or in that vein, one of the things that has to be thought through is the fact that with the number of individuals that come through these doors, that participate, whether they're vendors, whether they're participants in coming to events, whatever they are, the employees, you're contributing well over $100 million to our economic vitality in our community. And for that, we can't balk at that. I mean, that's just phenomenal.
First of all, I'd just like to thank Randy and thank the trustees and thank the commissioners for inviting MSKTD to be a part of the team. Never want to take that for granted, Randy. It's been 25 years, but always appreciate that. Mac mentioned the restrooms. I just want to give you a little bit of information about them. We gutted them entirely, taking them as far as we could to the walls, and you'll see new stainless steel partitions that have a texture to it, so you can't leave your phone number on it anymore. We've got tile walls that are multicolored, but they have kind of a variegation to them, so they kind of remind you a little bit of limestone. And the color goes all the way through that, so if it gets damaged, it'll stay looking good. We've got Corian countertops. All the fixtures are automatic, so hopefully things will flow very quickly as you use those. And the food flow very quickly, I don't know. I was trying to come up with something Bloom, like Parker's Privy, but Bloom, I don't know, I can't come up with it. Well, anyhow, to build this, Jerry Diener's original idea was to simply pull this out, that wall that is behind you that lines up with the dark block. Used to be a wall across there, 24 feet tall and 80 foot long. And his idea was to pull it this way just a little bit so we could get some concession stands that would sell more beer and pizza and hamburgers. And what we've done is far beyond what he would have thought of or that he dreamt at the time. And we utilized the entire roof that we've got, and the last 20 feet is additional structure that we latched on to the main frames that actually hold up the sky boxes. So we extended Jerry's dream to where I think he would be proud of it. We've also refinished everything. It's got 18-foot high ceilings, good acoustics. We've set inside that the concession area. It's 16 foot tall, has a mechanical system behind it, and we torqued it just a little bit so that you can enjoy the windows and a view. Even in Fort Wayne, 20 feet up is a big deal, so we enjoy that. We've also got epoxy flooring that is very durable and attractive, and you'll notice some of the curves. We started to pull some of the ideas from the main rotunda up here, so we're tying together the building over time.
I want to thank God for the strength and our abilities that got us through here. Got a good project done. We got it done safely, and I have to thank my Creator for that. I don't see Brenda, but I have to thank you too. That's my wife. Today's her birthday, and I'm just real proud of her. She's the one that is my sounding board. The last 4 or 5 months have been pretty doggone tough, and thank you. Randy, you've been a great guy to work with. You really show us how you want things done, and you don't badger us, you don't push us around. You say, this is what we need, this is what I expect, and made it very clear, and I appreciate that. Along with that, along with your team, boy, these people here at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum, they are absolutely fabulous to work with. Brian Christie, I've never seen a guy work so hard as he does. Andrew, you've gotten us all fat. You know, we liked eating those samples. Richie, Toma, I don't see Richie, but Richie, you were great. You know, you encouraged me where I didn't think we were going to make it sometimes. We had a lot of contractors, as you see here. We had a great team to work with, all the way from the concept of the architectural design, the owner and his influence, the monies that were available through the community, And each and every one of the subcontractors that you see on the TV screen and up here on the board, they all had a tremendous part in it. Their talents and their abilities are really what made this happen. There were a lot of overtime hours. Every job meeting I said October 1st, we're substantially complete. The Coliseum is open 24/7. And believe me, we had people working sometimes around the clock. Our painting contractor, F&S Painting, was here many nights after everybody cleared out and got the work done that needed to be done.
You know, there's been a lot of talk about food, so as we wind up, let me give you a little idea of what you're going to see today. We're on the east side, and here we have two concepts. And we've taken a whole new approach with food at the Coliseum. We started this about 3 years ago, and our partner Airmark has done a great job. And Kevin Kearney, our regional manager, Kevin, you're here, raise your hand so everybody can see where you're at here. He's in the back. But Kevin engaged the whole Airmark culinary team, and I'm talking people in Philadelphia, some of the top chefs in the United States. And they came up with the concepts that you see here. And then hand it over to Andrew Vandewey, our general manager. Andrew, raise your hand so people know who you are. But he's taller than Mick, I think, but maybe. So, but the pizza concept sliced is a fresh pizza concept. I mean, the dough is proofed right on site. From the time it's proofed and the sauce, it's sauced, and the various toppings are put in, goes in the impinger oven in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. A fresh pizza pops out. And I can tell you that Andrew has spent the last month and a half testing pizza. I mean, he's had a stand set up down in Expo 4 by his office area and adjusting the crust times, playing with the sauces, feeding the contractors. I mean, that's one of the things contractors have learned about working at the Coliseum with a project like we have here. It's like probably a little different than any other construction project. Can I say that? But that's our pizza concept. Right next to it on this side is the Walk This Way, our Asian concept. Asian, of course, one of the hottest concepts, food concepts around the country right now. So, and then on the opposite side, on the Parnell side, is the Appleseed Burger Company. I believe everyone knows that the gravesite for Johnny Appleseed is here on the property, so it was never a question of what we would call that concept. And a number of different burger options, and we're excited about where that's taking us. Everybody assume the position. On the count of 3, we will cut the ribbon and officially be open for business. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We're open. Yay!
Here on Countyline, from time to time, we like to meet up with and tell you about organizations, programs, and services that county government doesn't necessarily have direct involvement or oversight with, but certainly has a very close relationship. So today we're on the campus of IPFW, where the Allen County Purdue Extension Services offices are located. Vicki Hadley is the director of the office here, and she's kind enough to join us to tell you more about what the Extension Office does and the kind of programs they have available for you. First of all, Vicki, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Tell us a little bit, first of all, I guess, the background, the history of the Purdue Extension Service program, how it got started.
Okay. In Indiana, we have a state statute that indicates that in all 92 counties there will be an extension service, and of course that's dependent upon population and the need within the county as to the number of staff and the key areas that they'll be covering as well. Smith-Lever Act is the one that federally that actually set up the Purdue Extension Service within Indiana itself. And you'll find in every state there is a land-grant university that supports an extension service. And here it happens to be Purdue University, West Lafayette. We're here on the IPFW campus because of an arrangement that was made many years ago when they grew. We used to be located downtown. But when they started the IPFW campus, they asked that Purdue Extension come to this campus. So we're on the outer edge.
So you've been here pretty much ever since IPFW's existence, pretty much?
Very much, yes,
okay.
Yes.
And explain for folks exactly what county government's involvement with the Extension services?
County government provides our budget for operating expenses. We have 5 educators on staff here, and so we are actually with contractual services. The county pays a portion of our salaries and benefits with that, but otherwise the operation of the building itself. And we also have county employees that are receptionists and secretaries and bookkeepers in that as well, so they cover their salaries.
And as you say, that's the arrangement throughout Indiana and every county.
Yes, it is.
Okay. When people think of the Extension Service, if they know anything or have had any connection with the Extension Service, I know generally the first thing they think of is agricultural, rural programs that are involved. And I do know that's a very important part of it. So let's talk first of all about some of the things you offer.
Right. Federally, on the federal level, our funding comes to Purdue University from the United States Department of Agriculture. And then at Purdue itself, the Extension Service is a part of the College of Agriculture. But that is just a small piece that we do, is agriculture, thinking of the rural ag community that we service. We also have a horticulturist on staff. We're standing in the educational display gardens that they completely prepare for us as well.
Of course, it's November or thereabouts, so in the fall season, you're not going to see a great deal of plants. But as you say, Ricky Kemery, who is involved with the program, and we talked to him on several occasions on Countyline to find out, get lots of good information from him about plant growth, lawn care, things of that nature. And again, those are things that are available to anybody in the community.
That's right. Anybody within the county. We also have the 4-H Youth Program, and then we also have Health and Human Sciences as well, which relates to anything related to the home and family. It's going to come this way.
Well, let's talk a little bit about 4-H since you brought it up. That also is a program that's very closely associated with the Extension Service. Tell us a little bit about how that program has grown in Allen County.
Right. Here in Allen County, we actually begin the 4-H Youth Program at the age of 3 years old.
Wow.
The traditional program is basically third graders up through seniors in high school, but we like to get them started early to get them into that routine as well. And we have approximately 1,000 students who are involved either in the traditional 4-H program or in after-school programs. We also have a grant that is funded from the Department of Defense that allows us to get into minority populations and some of their community centers as well.
And that's a great point because, again, when you think 4-H, well, I have to live on a farm or something associated with a farm because that's what 4-H is all about. But that's not necessarily the case.
It is not. We have projects for every youth, no matter what their interest is, whether it's photography, whether it's foods. We have a new club that's going to be starting up. We just got a grant for that, is robotics. But we also have computer programs as well that they can be involved in, plus crafts, plus art, whatever their skill happens to be. Not the traditional, livestock. We do have the dog project. We have the cat project. We have the aquariums. I mean, basically any interest that a student has, we have the program for them.
Okay. And of course the Allen County Fair that the Extension Service is quite heavily involved with.
That's kind of our showcase. And we have all the projects come in that the 4-Hers have made throughout the year, and then those are judged, and then entries are selected, and they have the opportunity to go on to the Indiana State Fair, represent the county as well with that. But not all of our programs exhibit at the county fair. Depends upon what the need happens to be in that as well. We do other opportunities for them.
Okay. Well, let's go back and talk about home and health science.
Health and human science.
Health and human science. What we used to call back in the good old days home economics, but I know it's grown quite a bit since then, and it's very varied in terms of what you offer.
That's exactly right. A lot of partnerships with that. The Extension Homemaker Organization is associated with that, and they just celebrated 100 years this year. Here within the county, we celebrated 100 years of existence in 2016. But I also partner with many, many agencies as well with that. The Allen County Board of Health to provide food handler certification. So those who have the restaurants and those can stay in business with that, provide them the training and certification. Partner with a lot of organizations to do financial management, because in order for their clientele to get the services from that agency, they have to have some type of financial education. And so offer the Get Checking program for those who have never been involved with a bank or credit union so they can open accounts. We also have a number of other financial programs that they can do. Plus, we also have the Family Nutrition Program, which is for those individuals who are either on food stamps or eligible for food stamps, and allows them to get basic nutrition information and hopefully they can stretch those food dollars as far as they can.
And some of these may sound somewhat simplistic for folks, but for some, like you say, it's something that they're just getting into. And in a world that's becoming more and more complicated, there are a lot more things you need to know than perhaps you used to 20, 30 years ago.
That's exactly right. We do educational programs every month from here that are also on a wide variety of topics. And they're open to the public. Anyone can attend those as well. Plus, we have thousands of publications that are on our website that you can download if you choose to come in and purchase those. We have those available here as well, but about any topic that you can think of, we have a resource for you.
I know most of your programs are free, or if there's a cost associated, it's a very reasonable cost.
Very reasonable cost, and because of the restrictions from our budget from County Council, we've had to go to charging fees for many things. For example, we do diagnostic samples. You have a weed or a flower or garden issue or a tree issue and you just really don't know. Well, what it is, if you want identification or you've got a problem with that, bring it in. We have a $3 fee, and we have a team that takes a look at those and helps diagnose. We can do soil samples. If you're struggling to get things to grow, what's my problem? Bring in soil samples, and we'll also take those to the lab and get those tested for you as well. And we're looking at a $20 fee for those.
And your offices here are obviously a great resource, but I know that the Extension Service is always looking to branch out, push out into the community,
Yes.
and reach people that way.
Yes. With our horticulturist, Ricky Kemery, we have a Master Gardener program. And so we have about 400 Master Gardeners who get their training, and then they give back to the community. So you'll see them in community gardens, you'll see them in neighborhood associations, very much involved to provide educational workshops for them, provide answers to questions and those types of things. The 4-H program obviously needs lots and lots of volunteers in order for it to function, because we have the local community clubs, plus we also have the resource leaders as well.
Well, now, is there special training you need for something like that? Or?
For the 4-H program, they do offer training for the leaders as well within either their monthly meetings, or they will have a Spice It Up program, which is leadership development training as well. Master Gardeners, yes, it's a very intensive. We're just finishing up a series of classes right now for a new Master Gardener class of 25 that we'll be getting next spring. And then we also have the Extension Homemaker Organization, which is totally a volunteer organization, about 350 individuals that are out in the community as well.
Well, what's next for the Extension Service? What kind of things are you hoping or looking to do here in the future?
Expanding our programming. Increasing the enrollment in our 4-H youth program, and now we're looking at targeted areas within the county where we're not represented, and so obviously we're going to need volunteers to step to the plate to help us to work with those as well. We continue the Master Gardener program extensively, moving that forward. There's some new initiatives within the county that are up and running, and so we're involved in those, taking a look at particularly the food deserts. Where do people live that they do not have a grocery store in close proximity? So can we come in and assist with community gardens and being able to use that produce from community gardens as well within that area?
And again, that goes back to not being just a rural-based service provider, because a lot of folks within the city, within urban areas, are looking to grow their own vegetables, either out of necessity because they find that it's much more from a cost standpoint, it's cheaper for them, but also because they just think it's healthier.
That's exactly right. And many people think that the Purdue Extension Service is the best kept secret in town, because they don't, many of them think of the 4-H program, they think of just agriculture, but we are much broader than that. We are here for every citizen in the county, and encourage you to take advantage of us, because you are paying our tax dollars.
Sounds like you ought to be open 24/7 here with everything you've got going on, but I know that's not the case. What are the hours of operation?
We're open from 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. Obviously, we're not open during the holidays.
And I know that you also have a phone bank, or not phone bank, but you have ability to help folks from a resource standpoint if they have questions, if they just want to call in.
That's exactly right. Particularly in the horticulture area, we actually have Master Gardeners who come in primarily from April through the end of October, because we get about 6,000 calls a year specifically just in that area, so they respond to those phone calls as well. But yes, we've got 3 support staff who answer the phones on a continuous basis.
And where else can people get more information about what you have to offer?
If you go to our website, We try to keep it current, we try to keep it up to date with the calendar and everything that's going on at www.ces.purdue.edu/Allen.
And of course, we have a link at our website as well,
Yes.
www.allencounty.us, if that was too difficult to remember. You can go to our website and we'll have a link there for you as well. Vicki, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Always good to talk to you folks. And I know from the standpoint of our program that we do, we appreciate the fact that you're a great resource to go to get information, whether it be about the fair, horticulture, anything to do with the Extension Service. You folks have always been good to help us, and we certainly appreciate that. And I know the community does as well. Thanks again. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of County Line. Thanks so much for joining us. And as always, remember, this program and other County Line shows are available for viewing anytime on our video on demand service shared by the county, the city of Fort Wayne, and the Allen County Public Library. Go to our website, www.allencounty.us, to find the link that takes you to our video on demand site so you can watch our County Line programs as well as other public access TV offerings from county government. I'm Mike Green, Public Information Officer in the Allen County Commissioner's Office, and we hope you'll join us next time for County Line.